9:30 this Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. This weekend, get ready for girl power, violins, and a whole lot of rock and roll because the Femmes of Rock are coming to Canandaigua.
The group is known for taking classic rock and heavy metal music to a whole new level. Joining us this morning for more on the upcoming show, we have violinist and Western New York native Nina DiGregorio. Did I get that right, Nina? Help me out here.
DiGregorio, but you can just say Nina D.
Well, Nina, you know, I wanted to get it right, so apologies for stumbling there. A Western New York native, my friend. Tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from Lewiston, New York, originally, about 25 minutes north of Buffalo.
Oh, that's beautiful there. Very good. And you must be excited to come to Canandaigua and play. Tell us a little bit about Femmes of Rock.
We are very excited. So I started this group a few years back because of my love of classic rock guitar players. So I taught myself how to play solos by guitar players such as Jimi Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen, Alex Lifeson from Rush, David Gilmour from Pink Floyd, and I wrote arrangements with an electric string section and a live rock band that includes singing, some vocals, and of course the violinists covering all these guitar parts, which you usually don't associate with violin.
Nina, I need to ask you about that collection of guitars that we see hanging in the background of your shot over your left-hand shoulder. That is a mighty large collection, my friend.
Yes, so between my husband and myself, we play most of the instruments, and it's usually, I think, most of the basses are mine, and most of the guitars are his, except for the Stratocaster in the front there. That one's mine. So we have a full studio here at our house, and I apologize. It's still dark here in Las Vegas right now, believe it or not, so the lighting's a little bit funny. But yes, we have a full studio, and between the two of us, we play most of the instruments.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it runs in the family.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm curious to know your thoughts. You know, I think so often people just assume the violin goes hand in hand with classical music, you know, the opera or the symphony or whatever. But you guys are really kind of paving the way for this fun new way of looking at the violin. You know, tell us a little bit about that.
I think a lot of people don't associate the violin with rock music, and a lot of people don't associate females with rock music. So in a lot of ways, we're doing something that's quite unique that you don't really see that often. And if you've seen my eruption video that you're showing on the screen right now, I've actually figured out how to do a lot of guitar techniques such as finger tapping on the violin. And it's really difficult to distinguish between the violin and the guitar when it's played in that way.
When did you start to dabble in that? You know, taking one instrument that's not typical to a particular genre of music and seeing if you could apply it?
I think it was about when I was 13 years old. I remember a distinct moment walking into the living room, and my dad was watching a documentary on the first Woodstock, the original Woodstock, and I saw Jimi Hendrix do the Star Spangled Banner. And the next day I got home from school and plugged my electric violin into my dad's Marshall amp, and when my parents got home from work, I said, hey, look what I can do, just like Jimi Hendrix, and practiced with getting feedback out of the amp with the violin and overdrive and things like that. And I think that was the first moment where I decided that I wanted to do something like that.
That's so cool.
I love that memory.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And, you know, Western New York native, I'm sure that your whole family is so proud. Are they going to be coming to the show?
They might be coming to the show. My mom's actually just coming back to the country from visiting Austria, so they might be there. But I'll definitely have some family there for sure.
Well, and I imagine, does that add to the nerves, or does that help settle the nerves when you know you've got family in the audience?
Oh, no, it's always fun to have my family in the audience. I grew up with all of them in every single classical concert I ever had, starting at 6 years old, probably. So when I get to come home and have my family in the audience again, it reminds me of when I was little and I had all of my support there all the time.
Terrific.
Yeah, and you know, you have company there on the stage as well. Tell us about the other women you play with.
So the other performers, actually Ellie, the one who is on the left in that poster, she's originally from the Rochester area. So she's going to be coming home for a homecoming concert, even more than me from Buffalo, because she's from right there. So she's very excited, and her parents will definitely be in the audience. And our other violinist, Christina, originally from Palm Desert, but she's played with a lot of artists like the Eagles, and Pitbull and Adele and people like that. And so our band is full of talented people. Our backing band is comprised of from Blue Man Group Las Vegas, our drummer is Jeff Tortora. Our bass player, Mike Kelly, also originally from Buffalo, New York. And our guitar player, Jay Neubauer from Niagara Falls, New York, who we found him online. I didn't know him from living in that area, and he's an absolute virtuoso. So it's a show you don't want to miss for sure.
Okay, I feel like this is kismet. I feel like Abby and I have to go because I am from Niagara Falls. I'm a Niagara Falls kid. Abby is from Buffalo. We're all family.
Definitely. Half our band is from the area, too. So if you want to go, just let me know. You haven't seen anything like it yet, I guarantee.
Oh, my gosh. I love it.
I'm sure.
And, you know, this is definitely inspiring. What's your message to young girls out there watching this, maybe thinking, okay, you know, I love playing the violin. I really don't like regular old orchestra class. You know, maybe that's an avenue I'd like to pursue. You know, what's your message?
Sometimes I do clinics with young students, and I always tell them the same thing. If you put the time in and you practice, even though you may not want to when you're learning the fundamentals, and you really get a good base for the technique on the acoustic violin and for playing classical repertoire scales and etudes, after you do that for a few years, you're going to have the base that you need to branch off and play whatever style you want. And trust me, this job that I have right now, it really beats, you know, a lot of other jobs you could have. So get a good foundation with classical violin first, and then you can do whatever you want with it.
Nina D., the Femmes of Rock. September 28th, the show is at 6 p.m. at Fort Hill Performing Arts Center. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.